On the last episode of the Shaka for One and the Million.
They're killing us in the courtroom by making sure we do not have equal justice. They're killing us in the boardroom by making sure we don't have real economic inclusion, inhumane, and at the end of the day, all about money. The whole thing about money. It's never been about black. It's never been about white. It's been about green. It's been about, we're going to bring you here, we're going to enslave you, and you're going to help us build the greatest wealth on planet Earth. And after we built this wealth and end slavery against the wishes of many, we're going to start the genocide. The first order of business when slavery ended, they actually went to Frederick Douglass and said, here's a bunch of money, convince black people to go back to Africa. How convenient after building this enormous, phenomenal financial economy. And then when we did not accept that offer, that's when the genocide kicked in. That was, when we were slaves, they looked at us as assets. We were assets. We built their wealth. As black Americans, you have to understand where the war is.
Now, they took hip-hop and destroyed it. Used it as a weapon against us. If you pay attention, rap music started out as dance music. Then it became social consciousness music. Remember as we rode into KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest, Tupac, and then they changed it to the bullshit. If you ain't talking about bitches and hoes and killing your fellow brother, then you ain't gonna make it on top. It was used against us. Everyone wants to talk about how black folk are today. No one ever wants to discuss how we got here. Roll tape.
Hip-hop changing from positive to negative was not a consequence of history. It was not a circumstance of history. It was nothing that just happened on its own. It had nothing to do with the changing of the times. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with the fact that there are people in this particular society who wants to see us exactly where we are. And we cannot elude that, let that point elude us. These are the facts. How do we know? 1967, Kerner Commission report on urban disorder. When black people said, yo, we're tired of this system. You know what I mean? The system is oppressing us. So we rebelled against the system. We burned things. We said, yo, we had enough. He did his little report on what caused these riots. He said, what caused these riots? He said it was young children who started these riots, and what was motivating them was a high self-esteem and an enhanced racial pride. He said the majority of the rioters were high school dropouts, but they had a higher political orientation than their peers who did not drop out.